The Toronto International Film Festival is back in a really big way. Stars and filmmakers, they're still in the city to celebrate the art of film, and the fans are also out to see it all. For more on this, we're joined live by Tiff CEO Cameron Bailey. Cameron, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. I know it's a really busy time, so we appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure, Lena.
Let's begin with what it feels like to experience TIFF this year, because over the last few years, TIFF has seen a lot, right? A pandemic, an actor strike, a change in major sponsorship. Does it feel like TIFF is back?
It definitely feels like TIFF is back. You could feel it on the streets. Certainly during our opening weekend when we had Festival Street running, we got hundreds of thousands of people coming through, so many stars in town, so many great filmmakers from all over the world in town, and people gathering again to watch movies together, talk about them, and share what they're most excited about. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and you know, each TIFF, some of the biggest filmmakers, writers, actors, they remind us the magic of storytelling, but it also once again puts Toronto on the map each and every year. What have been some of the highlights for you so far?
You know, it's everyone from Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek to Malala Yousafzai to Denzel Washington being in town because of the Toronto audience, knowing that this is the most influential movie audience in the world, but also just enjoying being together with other artists. That's been great. And also just to see people discovering new films that they might never have heard about, but being taken on a journey somewhere else as well. That's always one of the big thrills of coming to the festival every year.
Yeah, and what is it that you want filmgoers to experience, to maybe walk away with this year?
You know, I want them to walk away with the idea that they can be taken somewhere else. They can expand what they know about the world or what they know about sometimes themselves by watching something on screen, a story that touches them, that connects with their own life, their own experience. And that's something that happens every single day of the festival. People find movies that really expand how they see the world, and that's why we're here.
Okay, I want to turn now to some controversy at this year's festival, Cameron. A documentary, as you know, about Russian soldiers has screened at TIFF, despite calls from Ukrainian officials and others for that film to be pulled. New this hour, TIFF has put out a statement. We're going to read part of it to our viewers, and then I want to get your reaction. Part of that statement says, as a cultural institution, we stand for the right of artists and cultural workers to express fair political comment freely and oppose censorship, because filmmakers, like all artists, work in dynamic engagement with their societies. We believe that our role as curators and presenters of film must stand for an unequivocal defense of artistic expression and a commitment to provide safe, open spaces to engage, critique, and reflect on artists' work. You've also acknowledged the hurt that this has caused the Ukrainian community. Can you tell us more about your decision in that statement?
Yeah, we saw this film, Russians at War, many weeks ago, and before it made its premiere at the Venice Film Festival a couple of weeks ago, we also invited it. We feel it's an important look at what's going on the ground. This is a Russian-Canadian filmmaker, and she has gotten access to some soldiers who are fighting there and who are really confused and disillusioned by having to fight there, who don't want to be there, who want this war to end desperately. And we felt that was an important context for the film. You know, many of the people who have been opposed to it that we've heard from have not yet seen the film, and I hope that when people see it, they'll understand why it's important to get that perspective. This is an anti-war film. It is anything but Russian propaganda. This is something that is making a very strong statement from people who are on the ground that this war has to end.
And speaking of war, there are a lot of pro-Palestinian demonstrators who have made their voices heard at TIFF this year as well. I want to get your thoughts on that, the political aspect of TIFF, or the politicization of TIFF. Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, we are here to transform the way people see the world through film. Often those films will be coming from current conflicts. Documentary filmmakers in particular are going out into the world and trying to give audiences a broader view and a deeper view of what's going on right now that we might see on the news, but it may not give us the full context. We find that film sometimes can offer something that is deeper and richer and gives people a chance to reflect more on what's going on. And we understand that not everyone will agree with our choices. We certainly respect the right to peaceful protest, but we do believe that it's important to show films that reflect the full range of our experiences right now in the world.
Okay. CEO of Tiff, Cameron Bailey, thanks so much for this conversation. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.